I'm Emma Louise and welcome to my video. And today I'm going to tell you about my favorite art supplies for painting. Now because I haven't sampled a whole lot of different brands, I can't tell you which is the best, but I can tell you why I like the brand I use. And because nothing is perfect, I will also try and think of at least one bad thing about it. First up is the most important, and that is Windsor and Newton watercolor paints. Now the things I like about these is that a few colors, a few paint tubes makes a lot of different colors. I'm amazed by how many different colors I can mix with these. The colors are also very vibrant and they layer really well. Glazing works beautifully with these. If you let the paint dry and you put another layer on top, you have no worries about it picking up and moving it around. Once it's there, it's permanent. The only thing that I don't like is that if I put down a very, very dark layer, like a very, very dark black or a dark brown, and put another color on top of that, it will start to pick up. So on darker pigments, try and do as few layers as you can, because it will move it just a tiny bit. Next is a Speedball dip pen, and I love this pen way more than microns. I was using microns, but the nibs would wear out after one drawing, which was terrible. And microns are the only waterproof pen, so I thought I was stuck with them. But then I discovered I can use a dip pen and use Windsor and Newton's ink, and their inks are completely waterproof. Once they're dry, it isn't moving at all. The nib will last pretty much forever if you take care of it, unlike micron, felt, or silicone nibs. The one thing I don't like about the nib is that it rusted on me. It's probably best to remove it from its holder, which I didn't do because I only use one nib. It still works very well, it's just a bit rusty. The thing I don't like about the ink is that it takes at least 10 minutes to dry, but that's why I have a blow jar to speed up the process. Next up are the paintbrushes that I use. I use animal hair brushes. Now I like these because I can just use the small brush and it does almost everything. I hardly have to use the medium size, and I've only used the big brush once, and that's because I wanted to see how it worked. So really all you need is the small one and the medium one. Because these are natural, they hold a lot of paint or water, which is really handy. You can paint for quite a while before you have to go and pick up more pigment. They're also very smooth, and where you put the paint is where it's going to be. The only con I can think of is that it's lost about 2 hairs. And that's not bad at all. The other con though is that they are pretty expensive, but I think these are going to last me forever. If I take care of them, these are such high quality that I'll never need any other brushes. Next is the paper I use. I use Arch's cold pressed watercolor, and I just love this paper. And I appreciate it even more because I used cheap paper once accidentally and it was terrible. With the good paper, the colors stay the same. When you put it down, that's pretty much what it's gonna be. And when you put down the pen, the ink doesn't feather, the line stays the same. On cheap paper, the colors soak through and become really, really pale. It's amazing how much the paper matters. Now the only con I can think about of this Arch's cold pressed paper is nothing. This is really good paper. I can't think of anything bad to say about it. Maybe the price, but I think it lasts me quite a while even though I paint a lot. I think it's great. I have nothing bad to say about it. Next up is Molotow, my handy dandy thingamabob. Masking fluid dispenser in pen form. Thank you, Germany. I tried using one that was British and it was in a really, really hard to use squeeze bottle. Like you'd have to be so strong to squeeze it out of there. But this pen, you just shake it, press the nib a couple times and it flows out beautifully. It's easy to use, it's compact, and apparently you can get refills, but the refills cost more than the pen, which is a little silly. Now the only cons I can think of is that it doesn't always rub off all the way, which is a bit annoying, but that's why I have gouache to patch it where the Molotow decided it wanted to be on the paper forever. The other con is that they actually don't last all that long. I thought they would last a bit longer. I guess it's okay considering how much has to go onto the paper. Next supply is something pretty standard, but I thought I should include it. Scotch tape. I use Scotch tape on the borders. Not much to say because it's tape and it's tape. That's what it does. It doesn't tear the paper, but if you press it down quite well, no paint will get underneath. And another pretty standard supply, but again, I thought I should include it because I use it in every single painting. My clicker pencil, which is a Kuru Toga. I wasn't going to include it because it's just a clicker pencil, but I realized I've had this for a really long time and it is in perfect condition. Considering how clumsy I am, dropping things and losing things, I love this pencil enough that I have not lost it, and it is durable enough that it has not broken. The pros, it writes. It does what a pencil is supposed to do. It draws thin lines, that's why I like clickers. The only thing I don't like is that the eraser won't come out. I used the eraser too much and got it stuck in there. Oh well. Next is the uni-ball gel pen. Now, gel pens are kind of, I think they're a new thing because they're not easy to use yet. I think I tried 2 different brands. This uni-ball Signo is the best. I used another brand and one of them wouldn't write and then the other one was just extremely finicky. This one is still finicky, but it's a lot better than the other one. If it doesn't write, lick the nib. Lick it or scribble on your hand or something, that usually gets it going. It is certainly the best gel pen there is though. Hopefully they'll improve their gel pen technologies. Now this is a pretty standard supply, but I decided to include it. My eraser, which is a Mono Knock 3.8 Tombow, made in Japan. I like this because it's small. It's pretty much the clicker pencil equivalent in the eraser world. So if I have a small mistake and I decide I need to erase it, I can. I don't have to have a giant clunky eraser. It's very strong. I've had it probably only half a year, but it's still in perfect condition. You can get refills for it, which I love. I love things that you can refill. You don't have to buy a whole new one. The only con? It leaves shreds, which pretty much every eraser does, so really that's nothing to complain about. Now last on the list is a blow dryer. And I don't have a brand to recommend. I mean, it doesn't matter at all. If it blows air, it will work. I use this really old one to dry the paper and the paint so I can paint sooner. It also warms up the Molotow or the tape so it comes off a bit easier than just trying to do it when it's room temperature. And there's really nothing bad about it. I mean, it's a blow dryer. Just find one and use one. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you found it somewhat helpful, either in deciding what art supplies to get, or just maybe interesting to watch. Hope you have a good day.